Been a tough few months for singer Jon Stevens. After undergoing a routine scan, he was rushed to hospital for a double heart bypass. His main left artery almost totally blocked. It's hard to believe, but just 3 months after this life-saving surgery, the Noiseworks frontman is back at his day job or his night job, performing live on stage. Jon, it is truly lovely to see you, mate.
Nice to see you too, Richard. Thank you.
Tell us what happened.
As you just said, I went for a routine doctor checkup, and I had a couple of stents inserted Christmas Eve last year. They'd found an anomaly after a CAT scan end of last year, but I'd never had a full checkup before in my life, you know. So I was 47 years old, and my doctor basically forced me to go and get everything checked, and they found an anomaly because I have obviously family history. Fast forward 9 months later, and I go for another checkup. I had a couple of moments of shortness of breath, which I called my doctor about whilst I was on the road, and one of my brothers had had a heart attack that week, and so I called my doctor. He said, "You better get in here." So I went in, saw him. He didn't put me through the stress test, the physical and the treadmill and all that stuff. He said, "We'll go straight to CAT scan," which was on a Monday. I saw him on a Thursday. As I was leaving his office, they called the CAT scan office. They said, "We have an opening tomorrow on the Friday if you'd like to come." I went in and did the CAT scan, which was in Bondi Junction, drove from there to Bondi Beach. Took about 20 minutes, and I got a phone call saying, get in your car, do not exert yourself, go straight to Prince of Wales Hospital emergency, do not go home, just do it right now. And he still didn't tell me, you know, how bad it was. So until I got to emergency and they plugged me up, he said your arteries, your main left artery, which was completely clear 9 months prior, is almost completely blocked, and you're a dead man walking.
It was a close call, obviously.
Very close call, very close call. And I'm very, very lucky and very grateful to all the staff and the doctors and nurses at Prince of Wales. They're amazing, amazing people. I was in hospital for a month, which is a long time for this particular thing, because I had some complications, you know, chest infection, fluid around the heart. So it was a bit of a hard time there for a while, but I'm back singing, started last week. And
yeah, well, that's the scary bit. I mean, you know, shortness of breath. I mean, it takes a lot of breath to do what you do. You have one of the best, strongest, most powerful voices in the business that comes from within. I mean, you know, you really use every muscle in your body.
I do. I do, and it was a bit scary last week when I did my first gig, because I wasn't quite sure how the body was going to take it. But it was funny, as soon as I started singing, it's like muscle memory, everything started to fall into place, and after a couple of gigs, singing fine.
Well, were you scared that you were going to push it too hard and you'd blow a full-foot? I don't think that's the medical term, but you know what I mean.
Well, they just said 3 months. After 3 months, you know, don't do anything, but you can go back to work. And, you know, so I took that. It takes that long for the chest to heal.
Show us the scar, if you don't mind.
It's there's one of the scars.
That chest has had a lot of people talking over the years, Jon. It's man.
Yeah, they did a neat job. Actually, did a fantastic job. But
so how did it feel when you're up on their stage singing? I mean, did you hold something back?
Yeah, I kind of had to, just to see how my body was going to react. And like I said, after a couple of gigs last week, you know, I sort of clicked back into gear, and everything just came back, and everything was expanded. It was beautiful, and I just felt great. And now I'm, you know, lost that fear factor, and you know, just straight into
it. You've worked hard, played hard over the years. I mean, how much of this is genetic and how much of this was lifestyle that caused it?
You know, I thought it was mainly lifestyle, but the doctors informed me it's completely genetic. And also, you know, a friend sort of made a great analogy to me. He said, look, you know, most men in particular, you know, take better care of their cars than they do their own personal health. And I was certainly one of those people where, you know, I thought I was healthy. I'd go to the gym. I'm always running around. I have to be healthy.
You look healthy. I mean, you look a picture of health. You look obscenely healthy.
Well, yeah.
How's this changed your perspective on life? Given you a new outlook?
Oh, definitely. You know, I mean, I had 5 days sitting in intensive care, having to think about, you know, before the operation, and think about what was about to transpire. And, you know, I mean, after having kids and stuff, you just want, the main thing I wanted to see was to see my kids having kids. Wanted to meet my grandchildren. You know, my dad died when I was 15 years old from the same thing. You know, it runs in my family, and you know, now it's just really a case of staying on top of it. And I just urge everybody out there, you know, with anything going on in their family genetically, they need to get checked up. It's it's a priority with the technology today. It's not hard. You know, just ask your GP and go and do it.
You'll be smelling those roses a little more from now on.
Yeah, well, I hope to be around for a little longer, and, you know, when I'm ready to go, hopefully it's with a mic in my hand, I'm on the stool and I fall off. See you later.
Well, mate, it's lovely to have you in here. Thanks for telling us your
Pleasure.
story, and it's a great message to everybody watching.
Yeah, and I've also, actually, just to finish off, also taken on the ambassadorship for a thing called Hug for Hearts, which is a great initiative sort of based around the Valentine's Day thing, where you can go to, you know, hugforhearts.com and sponsor your friend, your family member, and instead of buying chocolates or flowers, you know, you can, you know, sponsor your family member or whatever. It all goes to the Heart Foundation.
Good on you, John. Have a great Christmas, and thanks for coming in, mate.
Thank you.
All the best.
Cheers.